Hi, folks. Andrew here. Popcorn and whiskey. I am the face who runs the place. That's right. Salute. Here we go. It's been a few weeks. Yes, I admit. What was I doing last week? Last week, I was indisposed. I forgot what I was doing. I wasn't here last week, and I think the week before. Last week I was on somebody else's show. That was 2 weeks ago. But anyway, when you do this, when you're live streaming here, more and more people start asking you to be on their shows, which is cool. And you reciprocate because then eventually they'll come on your show as well. I guess I don't need these right now, do I? No, I guess I don't. So let me put them down. Here we go. All right. So what happens is the more you get your name out there, the more things happen to you and the more invites you get. All right, here. Okay. Now, some people don't like when I do this, but I have to go check to make sure I'm actually doing something here. Is my microphone coming through? Yeah. Okay. So I am live. I am going on. So that's always cool. And so the more you do this, the more people ask you to come on their show. And as long as you're doing able to talk and be respectable and carry on a conversation, it's easier to do. Now, there are some people out there who don't like to talk, which is fine. But the whole point of being on a podcast or a live stream is to talk, which then the host has to come in and start doing something to help out. That's where a good host comes into play. I'm not saying I'm the best host. I'm not saying I am the best at doing this by any stretch of the imagination, but I will pretty much put myself against most people out there who do this, and I can stick with them. Now, you got the top brass, the top dogs like a Joe Rogan, because most people compare themselves to a Joe Rogan. Dan Bongino is another one I listen to, and Joe Pags. Yes, I lean that way, so get over it. But once you start being in a position where you can do this, it makes it easier to do. It's an ongoing thing. The more you do, the more you can do. Okay, you want to get better at doing something, then do it, and keep doing it. Simple as that. Hey, JD, my buddy JD is watching. Good to see you too, my friend. Yeah, I decided to come on tonight. The wrestling is over, and I don't know if I want to talk about it or not. It was. I don't want to get into it tonight. I'd be for another time because I don't like to come on here right away and talk the wrestling stuff. I mean, I do, but only for a selective audience and when it's promoted that way. And right now I didn't promote it that way, unfortunately. But the pay-per-view is over, and I don't want to give out any spoilers for the folks who are watching it, but it was disappointing to me in ways that not so much the match quality, the lack of enthusiasm is what it was for me. The crowd just wasn't in it at all. The crowd sucked. Minneapolis, shame on you. Finger of shame. You had a packed house. You couldn't cheer for anything. It was sad. It was really sad compared to the events you see overseas where, my gosh, they just get into it big time. And if the crowd isn't into it, it's hard for the players or the performers or the wrestlers, however you want to term it, the characters, to display what they need to display in a proper way. The excitement and the adrenaline just isn't there. It just wasn't. It was a flat night, and I don't blame that on the performers. I blame that on the crowd. Let's see. JD just woke up from a nap. Way to go, buddy. Thank you, JD. Loves to see Popcorn and Whiskey Live. No popcorn tonight. Not because I didn't want it, because I'm completely out and I didn't buy any today. And as you can see by the looks of it, look at these chubby cheeks. This last month of July, holy moly, did not go well for me in the terms of health and fitness wise. And I know what I did or what I was consuming, which I shouldn't have, and I know what happened there. The workouts are still at play in a major way. I'm actually doing. I do 5 day workouts. I do 5 days and I'm off on weekends. I'm usually doing stuff around the house anyway. Though it's not physical workout, but I'm doing physical stuff around the house. And what I'm doing is this 3 days of DDPY, of yoga, and 2 days of I guess full body workouts. I've been focusing more on the chest, the upper body more or less, not so much the lower body. I have huge legs to begin with, so I'm not that I discourage that kind of workout. I just don't go that route. I get a lot of leg workout with the DDPY yoga. It's actually DDPY. I call it DDP yoga, but it says technically it's DDPY. Mayhem Media. JD was shooting a documentary most of the day. Oh, wow. Wow, JD, you're shooting a documentary. Good for you. Is this a self-promoted documentary? Yeah, holy moly. Gee whiz. JD, I tell you what, let me bring you on here, buddy. I'll shoot you a message here, and you want to talk about this documentary? All right, invite guest, copy. Here we go. I'm gonna bring my buddy JD on once I get him here, and we can talk about the documentary. There we go. All right, there you go. If you want to come on, JD, this is interesting. Never had a real live documentary guy online, so this will be fun. So if you get that, JD, you know how to do it, buddy. If you want to come on, I'll bring you on, and we can go from there. Absolutely. So, what was I talking about before that? I was talking about the workouts and everything else. No, but then this month I really wrapped up my golf game. Hey, here he is, JD. All right, my buddy JD, are you here, my friend?
Hey, how you doing?
Fantastic. Wow. Been a long time since I've had you. A long time, maybe about a month or so, because I was on your show. I had the privilege of being on that, and so I haven't really done my show. I did it a few weeks ago, and I had a caller call in, and I had and you were in the audience. You were in the peanut gallery, so to speak.
Yep.
Watching, I appreciate that. So, for those who don't know, JD is the owner of Mayhem Media and the Boiling Point podcast. I highly recommend you check those two out. One is more political based, and one is more entertainment based. And unless I got those mixed up, did I say that right?
Yep, that's right. Mayhem Media is the entertainment, and the Boiling Point podcast is more about politics, news, faith, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. And he's a busy guy. I'm telling you what, he does all kinds of stuff over there. So I'd go check him out, both of them. All right. So you sent me a message a little bit ago. It said you were shooting a documentary most of the day outside. So,
I'll be shooting one all week long, actually, for the next. There's eight or 9 days left.
Is this? Oh, this is interesting. Is this a one that you were asked to be on, or is this a self-made documentary?
I was asked to make it. There's a church camp near where I live that I've been going to my whole life. It's called Mount Olivet, and it's in Dillsburg here in Pennsylvania. And they asked me. I've been going up there my whole life and stuff. So I started just helping out a little bit, volunteering with some of the stuff that I can do, media stuff, social media stuff. If they need help or whatever, designing a poster or whatever. So I got asked to do a documentary on the campgrounds. Now, it's not something that unfortunately I'm going to be able to publish publicly, because they're a private campground. They'll decide if they want to have it be public or if it's just going to be for the campground, for the campers and stuff.
Okay.
So it's not going to, unfortunately, it might not be something that's out there released to the public, but it's been a great learning experience so far, and it's shaping up to be good. We've only shot 3 days so far, so we still have a couple more days to go. But so far, the first 3 days have gone really, really well. I'm going to be able to make something really good, I think.
Okay, so do they have like a professional people with cameras there, or just people shooting with their
Just
iPhones, or how is this being shot?
it's just me and the other JD, Jason
Yeah,
DeColi
yeah, yeah.
from my team. He's my cameraman. It's just me, and he comes up. He's been coming up to help me with camera shots and actually the documenting process.
Does
It's
he
just
have a camera outside of his cell phone?
nope. We're just doing it with our phones.
Okay, okay, that's fascinating. Wow. Well, congrats, buddy. Keep it up. I would love to see. Well, if it's released, of course,
I
I
can
would love
show
to
it
see it.
privately to some people, like to
Gotcha.
certain people and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have I won't, it's not up to me whether or not it's going to be out there for the world. I just was asked to make it for the campground. So it's up to them if they want to release it to the public or
So
not.
is this focused on you yourself or the
No,
campground, and you're just a part of the campground?
yeah, just the campground. I'm part of the campground. I'll be
Okay.
on the documentary probably a little bit, but it's not like about me or anything like that. It's about the campground and capturing the essence of the campground. It's celebrating its 150th year this year. That's why they wanted the documentary made.
Oh, well, awesome. Congrats, dude. Good
Yeah,
job.
it's been a lot of fun, and it's definitely been a learning experience, and it's been hard work. It's definitely not been easy by any stretch of the word. With my disability and stuff, getting out
Mm-hmm.
is always not the easiest. So being out all day in the heat, uh, I just did the last 2 days in a row. I'm not going tomorrow, so that way I can rest. Because if not, I'll just burn myself out. Like today, I came home and whew, I ate food and was gone. I had to go to sleep. I didn't have a choice in the matter. So the last just 2 days being outside doing the work has sapped the energy of that I have. So
Right, right, right. Well, that's awesome, dude. Great.
yeah, yeah, great learning experience. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's more for the learning. I've learned the amount of stuff that I've learned just to plan this and try and plan out the shots and how to
Mm-hmm.
organize it and stuff. It's going to be a great learning experience.
Good, good,
If I
good.
ever get a chance to do another one out, this will have definitely come in handy.
Well, all right, good, good. I'd love that. We'll definitely get into it more and everything else. So, all right, complete transition. And for the folks in the business, this is called a segue, and a very poor one at that. Okay, a very poor one at that. So, in my bylines tonight, or the headlines, or my description, or whatever, I said I'm going to talk about job searching, present day dating, and a whole lot more. That's what I'm going to talk about. So if you're game to talk about these things with me, great. If not, I completely understand.
I can
So,
talk probably some job search. I'm not really
okay.
much for dating.
Okay. All
Even when I
right.
was younger, my dating was likely a little different than what you're going to be talking about now.
Probably. Yeah. Most people's are
Yeah,
the different experiences and everything else. But all right, let's hit on the job search thing. And I thought about this as a last minute topic because the last year or so, I've been on a quest to find different kinds of employment myself personally. And it's not because what I did before I disliked or anything. I'm in a unique position, where I have been in unique positions through most of my adult life, most of my working life, where I'm in a job that I appreciate, that I like, that I enjoy, that I want to keep going, but the job ends. I didn't get
yeah,
fired, didn't quit, didn't get laid off. The job just ends. And it usually happens because a company got sold and the position I'm in is no longer there. Now, explain that on a resume,
yeah,
especially when it happens 5 times to you. Five, not once, not twice, but 5 times. So explain that one on a resume. You can't.
yeah,
It doesn't bid well that way. So nowadays, a lot of people are going for the remote type jobs, or work from home type jobs, which
When
they
you
say
find
they're,
when you find a legitimate one, send it my way.
yeah. Janet Moore is watching. Thank you, Janet. Appreciate it. Yeah. If you find a legitimate one. Now, are there legitimate ones out there? Yeah, but I guess it depends on what your definition of legitimate is. And
Yeah.
and I'll tell you this why. This is why. Because what first got me thinking about it was it's always the customer service type jobs. You think, at least for me, I always think about the customer service type jobs where people call and you read from a script. When
Yeah.
people call a company and you read from a script about answering the questions or complaints or what have you. That's
Yeah.
what I always thought remote jobs were, unless you were in a specialized field doing it. Okay. So I use products from a company called Wise, WYZE, and I'm not promoting them. I just use it. That's a company I use products from. I had a question about a product one night. It was like 11 p.m. And I just called their customer service line. I figured I'm going to get some high school kid on a weekend, just or weekday, whatever it was, just
Yeah.
reading from a script. No, the person I was talking to was actually kind of intelligent, and we just got along great talking on. I don't remember if it was a guy or a girl. I don't remember. We were just talking, and like we were old buddies. It was just one of those kind of feelings. And out of the blue, I said, I got to ask you, how did you start working for this company? Because the company's based in Seattle, and this person was based in North Carolina. Because I always ask the people when I talk to them, hey, where are you located?
Yeah.
And they hesitate at first. So now I always ask, so, hey, which state are you located in?
Yeah.
People are going to tell you what state. They don't want to tell you the city, but the state, not a problem. So this
Yeah.
person was in North Carolina. I said, how in the world did you get hooked up with Wise when they're based out of Seattle? And that's where their headquarters are.
Yeah.
And she said, she or whoever, I answered an ad I found in a small newspaper, magazine, whatever. And they said they needed people to help out customer service wise. So I did. And I said, you got any experience doing this? They said, no. So my customer service thing clicked in. Like, okay, it's customer service, but this person is well beyond that capability. You can just tell by talking to them. It's not somebody just reading from a script.
Yeah.
They're actually intelligent enough to talk to you. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that in a degrading way to anybody. I'm just saying that was the thing I got. And I went, hark, I might be able to do this stuff from home.
Yeah.
But like you said, finding ones like that are few and far between. I haven't had,
Yeah.
I've had zero luck until recently about that. So,
Oh, really?
Now my background is in training, whether it's physical training, corporate training, teaching, what have you. I have a background in that. I also have a background in banking. I've worked in different banks, bank branches, more in the mortgage division, but I have that. So I'm on Indeed one day. Yeah, and Indeed one day, and a local bank puts up there they're looking for a remote trainer for onboarding new hires. I was like, and I'm reading this description, and I'm like, this is custom fit for me. I could not have wrote this thing better for myself, the other description for it and everything else. So I made a couple of calls. I didn't get anywhere, and I'm working with an employment agency locally. It's called Work One. I reached out to them. I said, hey, do you have any contacts at such and such place? And they said, well, yeah, we do. I said, great. This is what I had just applied for. And I was on the phone with my person I'm working with over at the Work One. And she says, holy shit. I said, what? She goes, your resume is perfect for this. This is a perfect job for you. Everything that you do is this is it. I said, I know.
Yeah.
So she reached out. And the next day I had a phone interview with somebody, and we got along on the phone. Fantastic. And I've never had a better interview in my life. And it also comes to find out that this person's niece was one of the students I taught when I was at the local high school. So we've talked about that. So it was great. And she says, I'll have to get with my my upline supervisor, so to speak, because they're doing all the hiring. But she says, she even point blank says, this is almost like it's custom built for you. I'm like, I know, this is great. So I'm all excited. I'm like, this is perfect. I work at home, doing remote stuff, training, like basically talking like you and I are doing right now.
Yeah.
And I have all the equipment for it as well,
Yeah.
So I get about 3 days later, I get an email that said, sorry, to inform you, basically you're not good enough for us. And I said, and I reached out to her and I said, and I called her and she answered the phone. I said, what's going on here? She goes, I gave your information to my boss and blah, blah, blah. And they said, because you don't have any banking experience, that they can't hire you. I said, hold on a second. You and I talked about this. I've worked in 5 different bank branches. And her words to me, she goes, Oh, that's right. I forgot to tell them. I forgot to tell my boss that you've worked in different bank branches. I said, I
Oh
have
my God.
plenty of banking experience.
Yeah.
She goes, it wasn't on your resume. I said, because that was more than 10 years ago. And I just went back 10 years of my life in a
Yeah.
resume, which what you're technically what you're supposed to do, what they
I just
say.
put it all. I just put it all on there these days.
Yeah, but I also don't want to go more than one page and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So she says, I'll reach back out to her and let her know that that's what's going on. I don't think she ever did because since then she never returned any of my phone calls or emails. I'm like, yeah, screw it, whatever.
Yep.
So about 2 weeks later, another bank had basically the same kind of ad in there. I said, well, I might as well respond to this one. It's a different bank, but I might as well respond to it because there was no banks that bank branch within. I'm guessing about at least within 100 miles from where I live. But they said remote training job for the bank. Okay. On the remote thing, it says if you're within a 50-mile radius, it is no longer a remote position. You have to report to the bank branch. And I looked at all the bank branches. Said there's not a bank within 50 miles of here, so I got that one covered. Not a problem. Sending my resume within 2 hours, I get an email says, "Hey, let's set up an interview, phone call interview." So I did, and 2 days later, I got on the phone doing an interview. And we're talking, and the lady says, "Where are you located?" I told her, and the lady I'm talking with was in Arizona. And she says, "I don't know your demographics, your geography up there." Of course she doesn't. And she says, "Let me just read off some of the cities that we have bank branches close to you and see where they are." Well, she read off the one that was about 100 miles away, which I knew of, but then she read off one that was a lot closer. I was like, hold it a second. She says, what? I said, that branch was not on your list. She goes, it's not. I said, no, on your website. And she went to the website and looked. She goes, oh, it's not listed there, is it? I'm like, I just told you that. It's not listed there.
Yeah.
She says, well, can you Google it to see how far away you are? And I said, okay, from the center of my town to the center of the town this bank was in, it was 47.6 miles. So she says, because you're perfect for this job, would you be willing to drive in back and forth? I'm like, I'm not driving 50 miles one way, 100 miles a day.
Yeah.
Unless you pay me a lot more than what you're offering. I didn't say that part, but I said, no, I'm not. She says, well, do this. Take your exact location and measure it to the exact location from the bank and see if it's within 50 miles. 49.9 miles.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm not kidding you. I'm like, really? 49.9? She says, I don't know if that's going to fly. She says, I'll bring it to my supervisors, but if you're not willing to drive that, I don't think it's going to fly, but we'll still finish it off the rest of the interview, which we did. And the interview again was great. And again, she says, you're custom fit for this position.
Yeah.
But I said, I'm not going to drive the 50 miles one way. Sorry, no. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. No way.
So I get a message a few days later. Thanks, but no thanks. We'll find somebody else. I'm like, oh, geez.
Yep.
So those remote positions are out there.
Supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly. They're out there. So
I've not found any myself.
Yeah. But
the only ones I ever have found are like sales positions where you're going to make off of what you sell.
Right, commission based. Which is okay if you're okay with doing that.
Yeah.
Because I was in that world as well in the past. It is a feast or famine world. I'll tell you that right now. It is. And
for me, it depends on what I'm selling too. Like if it's something that I like or believe in or know works or whatever, then that's different. But if it's something that is a bad product or whatever, then that's more difficult to try and sell people.
Right. And then it also depends on location too. If you're at the mercy of people having to come to you, a whole different ball game. And if you're willing to go out and knock on doors, which I am not, and
obviously,
you're not in the position where you can do that.
Yep.
So that doesn't work for you either. So it's just tough. But this last week, I've started training at a new position, and I'm not going to announce what it is yet, but it's very interesting. I'm going to say this, but it's not in a negative way. It's just a different atmosphere. this position I'm training for, and in a few weeks, once I go through the training, I'll reveal what it is. But right now, I'm not. It is a very, I think you know what it is, don't you, JD? I think I told you.
I'd have to check the chat to be sure, but yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure that you
yeah.
had said something to me about
It
it.
is a very untrusting position, and by that I mean it's everything you do is viewed and scrutinized very, very thoroughly, and so is the customer base viewed and scrutinized very, very thoroughly. Not in a negative way, but in an untrusting way, in a you might be stealing from us type of way.
Yeah.
I was raised in the total opposite environment. Hey, if you need something, let me know. If you need to borrow my car, here's the keys. I'll throw my keys there. You need $20? I'll give you $20. You owe me later, something like that. So my background is completely different than the attitude of this. And it's not just a company, it's the entire industry does this.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's hard for me to get used to. And it's very, very regimented on how everything works with your hand placement and your fingers and where you stand and things of that sort as well. I'm more loosey goosey, let's just go by the seat of my pants, let's wing it type thing. No, this is not. So I'm not struggling at all. I'm really enjoying it, but I'm thinking in the next few weeks we'll see how my attitude and that attitude mesh here.
Yep.
I know I'm talking really cryptic here, but that's what's going on there.
That's the way it's got to be.
Yeah. So what's your experience with the job hunting so far?
Oh, terrible. Hunting job, even in place job, is just terrible.
Okay.
I've never found a legitimate remote work from home position where I've actually been able to speak to somebody, which is why I know that most of them are, nonsense. Because I've had like, through email or whatever, hey, give me all your information and we're going to put you on the payroll. I'm like, no, you're not without a conversation, at least. Like, that's the other thing. You can't just be handing out your info. I'm not giving you my socials. What? I will fill it out if it's on like an official application or whatever that I'm filling out for tax purposes.
Yep.
Emailing you just in a blank document my information. That's not how payroll works. That's not how the IRS works. That's not how, that's not how it works.
Yes.
So yeah, that's in terms of working from home. That's been my experience with that. Working in places, I've had a couple of jobs. I've worked a couple places as a cashier, like fast food restaurants or sub shops, working as a cashier. I think I'm pretty good at it. I'm pretty fast, and I'm pretty, you know that I'm good at like just chatting people up.
Oh, absolutely.
And,
yes.
Put a friendly face on it and stuff like that. So, and then I did work for a little over a year as a data entry specialist with a company called Bookspan that, like, remember the mail order books?
Yeah.
That's what they did. So I worked with them for a little over a year, and that was like an 8-hour job, like an 8.5 hour. You got 30 minutes for lunch. That was unpaid.
Okay.
So it was an 8.5 hour job. And after a year, I was so tired and burned out from sitting at the computer for 8 hours every day doing stuff. That it just, I eventually I think that's when I had my gallbladder out. I had a gallbladder attack.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It happened in the middle of the night. I woke up. It was like pain all the way around my abdomen, across my abdomen and stuff. So, and then I ended up going back to work too early after that. And then it just was too much. I ended up having to quit because I just couldn't keep up. I needed to have a few weeks where I was not going to work to rest.
Okay.
After surgery. So
I
thought I was big and strong and could be like, oh yeah, I can get right back to work.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Here is a message from our buddy J-Mac at Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc Wrestling Underground. He says he's going to be a Chippendale dancer.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's for you or for me. I don't know who that's for.
That's what I was just about to say. Is that for you or for me? Maybe we both. Maybe you'll see us both there. Who knows? Yeah.
I was telling somebody today that I don't even know how to get on the conversation of, would you be willing to take your shirt off if they pay you? I'm like, if someone wants to pay me to take my shirt off, it's going to be a lot. And but I'll tell you, and I will do it, but no one's going to pay me a lot to take my shirt off. So it's not going to happen.
I take my shirt off anyway, but you're more than welcome to pay me lots of money to do it.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to pay me $1 million a year to take my shirt off and parade online with it, I'll do it. I at this part of my life, I got no shame. Absolutely. Yeah. And J Mac said it was for me. Okay, thank you, J Mac. Yes.
I figured, but you never know with him. He could have been making the joke about me too.
That's right. You never know with him.
But yeah, but working in places, I've had interviews, and honestly, if I'm being brutally honest here, any of your regular viewers know that I have a disability, so I have a motorized wheelchair, and I've done both, where I've told the employer that I'm in a motorized wheelchair before the interview, and I've also not told an employer that I'm in a wheelchair.
Right.
So, and then there's also those jobs where you submit something, to a person, and they say, "Oh, we'll come back at this time. This is when he's doing, this is when they're doing interviews or whatever," like a general kind of thing. Like anybody who's filled out an application can then come for the interview or whatever. So, and honestly, the most regular thing I've seen happen is I will literally watch the smile on someone's face disappear and the color drain out of their face when they come up to give me a job interview.
Really?
Yep. Because they are immediately afraid to say something wrong.
And
they're afraid to ask me questions. They're just afraid to talk to me for fear that they're going to offend me. So I usually end up having to do most of the talking, volunteering what I can do, and then I don't get the job anyway. So, but
you know why that is, don't you? You know why that is, don't you?
Why?
And this is just strictly my opinion, and I have nothing to base this on but my opinion. Because the way society is, everyone is so. I don't want to say everyone, but let's say half of the country is so eager to be offended by everything.
Yep.
People clam up and don't say anything because I don't want to offend somebody.
Yeah.
And it's because you and I have been talking for well over a year. I know that you're not going to get offended if I bring that up, or if you bring up something about me, because we're just buddies. We're just life. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And
there's no reason to be offended by anything that someone's talking to you or saying to you. And I mean, of course you can be, but that doesn't mean that it's a crime or that you should get so offended that you're posting online and crying your eyes out or any of that stuff. Right. Like, of course, people are going to say things. We have freedom of speech. So people are allowed to say things that you don't like. If that's a problem for you, I suggest you stay inside.
Yeah.
Really, not try and get the people who are saying the stuff in trouble. Just if you have a problem with it, stay inside.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's been most of it with most job interviews, especially like restaurants or fast food places or anything like that. Yeah, it's been the few times I've gotten a job is because it's been somebody who's willing to just say, "Yeah, dude, I'll hire you. Let's give you an opportunity." Right. And I can usually tell in the first few minutes if someone's actually going to give me the job or if they're just jerking me around to get me out the door, to get through the interview.
Oh yeah, of course.
So yeah,
I have a cousin in Italy who I think that 3 or 4 months old. He had something wrong with one of his legs, and they had to amputate it. So he's basically only has one leg.
Yeah.
And so he came to visit me in Florida, and him and I went out to a restaurant. As we were walking in the parking lot, now he has crutches he was walking with.
Yeah.
And there was a mother and a little girl. She must have been 4, 5, 6 years old, something like that. And he doesn't speak any English, so I had to translate everything to him.
Yeah.
And she says, "Mommy, look at that kid. Look at that boy. Look at that man. He only has one leg." And the mother says, "Shh, honey, don't say it too loud. He might get offended." And right away, I'm thinking, do I want to even put myself in a position where I got to translate everything here? Because no, I don't. So he didn't hear it. So let's just go on. Was it right? No. But you would think now, if I was the mother or the parent, and my kid said that, at this point, I would probably say, you know what? Let me see if I can talk to this gentleman. For instance, let's say I would see you. I didn't know you, and I see you.
Yeah.
And my child says, "Hey, that man's in a wheelchair." I might walk up to you without my kid knowing this and say, "Hey, do you mind if we sit down and talk to you? My kid is curious about you, about why you're in a wheelchair." That's not offensive, is it?
No, are you, dude? Where I'm going to shoot this documentary right now, it's full of kids. I've been there 2 full days. I've
Mm-hmm.
already been asked 5 times why I'm in a wheelchair by
Yeah.
children
Yeah.
because they haven't seen me because I don't go up there with that kind of frequency the last couple of years because getting out
Okay.
and staying
Right.
there has
Right.
been
Right.
difficult. So, but yeah, I've had plenty of like 5 kids this week, just in the last 2 3 days, come up to me and say, "Hey, why are your arms like that, or
Mm-hmm.
why are you in the wheelchair?" I'm not offended by it.
No.
I lean down to them and I'm like, well, was born this way. I have a disability, and I usually tell them the name. I say and of course they don't. They usually the name is what kids are like because it takes them several minutes to comprehend what I said when I say
Yeah. Me too.
arthrogryposis. Yeah, well, I mean, I keep it short for the kids, but I say arthrogryposis. So I'm like, I have a condition called arthrogryposis. I
Mm-hmm.
was born with it, and I'm in this wheelchair. And that is with most kids. They're like they accept that. Okay, they've satisfied their curiosity and they move on. Occasionally, they'll come back and ask me some follow-up questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I'm not offended by any of that. I don't think when parents are out, like if my kid, and of course I'm disabled, but if I had a kid or if I was out with my nephew
Mm-hmm.
and he said something like, why is that person? I mean, he's different too. He's got his own issues as well. So he
Okay.
understands people are different. But if he was like, why is that person, why is he on crutches, or why is he in a wheelchair? Why does he only have one leg? That's what I would do. I'd be like, well, let's see if we can go talk to him. Let's see if we can go ask him these questions.
Yeah.
And then explain to your kid that maybe they're going to say no. Maybe they don't want to talk about it. If they say no, then that's it. We walk away. Then it's over.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you shouldn't be offended just for people to come up to you or to assume something when you have a disability. If you're going to be offended because someone assumes something about you, you're going to have a really, really long and unhappy life.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just society. That's just society. So you either got to learn how to deal with it. Like if someone does something that I can do for myself, I usually I'm like, oh no, I'm sorry, excuse me. I can do this part. Thank you thank you for the other help. But now this is the part that I can do. So I'm going to do it myself. And most people are like, oh, okay. Like they're not offended that I was like, oh no, I can do this. So
right.
It's just talking. It's people talking. People shouldn't be offended by, interaction.
Right. Oh, you're right. Yeah. But like I said, and this once again is my observation that society is so, I guess, weaned at the fact that people are easily offended. They're afraid to say anything. Just like, and this is a nice segue into dating in the dating world, especially at my age. I'm a lot older man than most people think. I don't want to say I just can't. I just don't walk up to a girl and start a conversation. First of all, because no one my age is out there I can do. So most girls I walk up to or I see in public are a lot younger than me. So I'm all of a sudden the creepy old man.
Yep.
I'm the creepy old man, even though if I just say hello, what's going on, blah blah blah, and because of the last 10, 15 years, the Me Too movement, which is now I think in the past, but still it's out there. A lot of guys are hesitant to talk to ladies. And a lot of the younger guys were not brought up in a culture to do so either. They're more in the culture of let's talk on the phone instead of face to face. Yeah. Which a lot of girls like that too. The older ladies, not so much. But then again, how do you approach them and have a romantic interest with them? It's more difficult than what people think.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah. It does make sense. I'm not really much for dating, mainly because I'm not in a position in my life that I'm ready to be trying to build a life with someone. I don't think at this point yet. Plus the disability is obviously, a factor. It's different when you're a kid and you're like, hey, spend the night for one night. And then, that's different than trying to build a life with somebody. So,
yeah.
There's certain aspects of the disability you can hide for 2 or 3 days, but after that, you're going to start noticing the nitty gritty if that'll work for for your audience. So.
Yeah. So, and I bring that up because one of the ladies in my training class of the job I'm doing, her and I are the oldest two in the class. She's younger than I am. I just by observation, I'm saying this just by observation. I thought she was my age, but yes, I looked her up just to see if I could find, and I did find her one of her social media accounts, and she has her birthday on there. I'm like, holy shit! And I thought she was a lot older than what she was. I'm like, boy, she hasn't taken care of her skin at all.
Oh,
At all. But she's very attractive. Don't get me wrong, very attractive, very personable. Her and I, we hit it off in a friendly way first day. Yeah. And when we're training, we're basically trying to be at the same area together. And so yesterday before we left training, I said, hey, because we were talking, I said, do you like the Spider-Man? Have you seen a new movie yet? She goes, no, I'm going to go see it. I want to go see it. So my thing is, hey, that'd be a great way for me to ask her out, is to take her to see the Spider-Man movie, right?
Yeah.
To me, that makes sense. Before we left, I said, hey, you think I can get your phone number? She looks at me, she goes, no. I said, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I'm interested on Monday, how she's going to react and act towards me or to me, or if she still wants to still be in the group setting that we're in, or she's going to go to another group setting, because we break up in groups in our training classes for this job. So I'm curious to see how that's going to be. But for me, it's like, hey, she said no, okay, we'll just keep doing what we're doing. That's fine, And then it didn't help when I saw her go out on the smoke break with a cigarette in her mouth. I'm like, well, there you go. That's a total turnoff to me. If a lady puts a cigarettes in her mouth, I am totally turned off.
Yeah. Hopefully I'm not a smoker for too much longer.
Well, you don't smoke cigarettes. You smoke other things for.
I smoke both. I smoke both. You
smoke cigarettes?
I do.
Oh man! I mean, I had all this time to deal with you, and I could have. I could have used that, and
you're not the only one that likes to, that wants to get on me about that stuff, and absolutely for good reason. I completely understand why. So that's why I'm trying to quit. It's something I never should have started, but what can you do about that? Can't go backwards and change the past.
J-Mac says he can go all night long talking about dating.
I'm sure he can. I'm sure you can.
We'll have to devote a session onto that some night as well, too. No, dude, I didn't know he was a smoker. Gosh darn it! If there's one thing that turns me off, now granted, I don't ever plan on dating you.
Yeah, man, and the same. Yeah.
You'd say no if I advanced to make any advances.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But if I were and I found out you were smoking, I wouldn't anymore. So there you go. So you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah. And hopefully I won't be doing it for too much longer. That has nothing to do with you.
So are you is there a method that you're using to quit?
I've tried patches before. They were not good for me at all. I'm not a gum chewer. So when I'm cutting back, and then I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna quit. That's how I'm gonna do it. That's how I did it before. I just quit. I mean, I tried when I quit the first time. I actually quit once before too, and then started again, really like an idiot.
Okay.
So that's a 2-time idiot for me. Smoking the first time originally, and then quitting, and then doing it again.
Okay.
So, but the last time I did, I tried other like different stuff or whatever, and it wasn't until I was just like, you know what, that's it. I'm done, and now that's it. That I actually was able to stop smoking.
Okay. There are two people that I don't know personally, but they're radio personalities. One of them is Lex Staley, and I'll say this from the Lex and Terry radio show, and the other one is Rush Limbaugh. I have heard them both on air say that Rush was an avid smoker. Now he's always smoked cigars, but even cigarettes. And one day he just woke up and said, I'm going to quit smoking cigarettes. And he quit cold turkey. He kept smoking cigars, but he stopped cigarettes just like that. Yeah. Lex Staley, again, was a smoker, he said. And then when I found out I had a child on the way, he said I quit. I don't know if it was smoker, but it was drugs. He was doing all kinds of drugs. They were like the cocaine and stuff like that. And he just quit like that. So I don't know if he was smoking. I don't want to say that because I don't know, but definitely the drugs. He said he just quit cold turkey with the drugs. I'm going to assume he was smoking. That's my assumption.
I've also done other drugs as well, and I also when I quit those, it was just I was done.
Okay.
I just quit right outright. Didn't do, no treatment, no meetings or whatever. And it was
Hmm.
the drug in choices we're talking about here is powder, cocaine.
That's what Lex was doing, is doing coke.
And
Yeah.
that's what I was doing that for a couple of years of my life too. And it was when I woke up one morning, it was like, if I keep doing this, I will die. I will. Like there was absolutely no question in
Hmm.
my mind that I would die if I would have kept doing it. And I decided at that moment that I was done. And even my girlfriend at the time, she kept doing it. And I was like, no, I don't want it. I don't want to, it didn't even bother me that she did it and I was around it. I wasn't tempted to do it. It was one of the easiest things because I just woke up and I was like, no, if I don't stop this, I will die. So I have to stop this right now. So
Wow.
that I did completely fine. That was not a problem at all. Quitting cigarettes was tough the first time. The second time, like I said, I'm just gonna have to do it through sheer force of will. But when I gave up the other stuff, that was like, nope, I'm done. Nothing. I was never tempted to do it again. I haven't done it again since the last time I've done it. I haven't done any powder in 20 years
Good for you.
or so. Yeah. So
So what made you wake up one day and say, I just want to quit? What
because
was it?
it was the way I felt. It was the way I felt. I woke up and every part of my body hurt, but especially my kidneys, my back, because I wasn't when doing that stuff. I don't know if you know, but when you do that drug, you tend to not eat. It suppresses your appetite.
Okay.
So when you're in a wheelchair and you don't eat for 36 hours, your body will, especially, I mean, not just not eating, but doing the drugs on top of not eating for
Hmm.
36 hours, your body will let you, or at least my body was like, yo, if you don't stop this, something's going to happen. You probably won't die of a heart attack. Your kidneys are going to fail or like something like that. Like it was just the way I felt. I woke up one day and I'm like, no, I'm going to die. I feel right now like I need to be in a hospital on an IV and I'm at
Wow.
home. So I shouldn't be feeling like this at home when I wake up. So this is not going to work for me.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, we got a comment. John says that he quit smoking and say, I quit 20 years ago after smoking since high school. Now, John's my age. So he was smoking till he was in high school. He's smoking for a good 20 years. Yeah. Wow.
Now I didn't start
Interesting.
smoking cigarettes until after I was 18.
Wow. See, and John surprised me because I said I went to high school with him, and he was a top-notch athlete. He was one of the premier swimmers in our school. So him being a smoker, I was like, "Holy crap! This is the first I've heard of that."
Yep.
Top-notch athlete, and he was one hell of a trumpet player too in the band. So how smoking got involved with it, I don't know. I don't. I have never done a drug, but I do this stuff. I drink. Yeah.
I've done that too. I don't do that anymore, which I
I don't
also
drink
pretty much
excessively. I
I
usually
pretty
just drink
no.
on weekends.
Yeah. And I don't I mean I had a couple of beer. I have that capability. I can have a beer or two
Mm-hmm.
and I mean like that's fine. I will never I still then I won't drink for another year or
Yeah.
whatever. So like I had a couple of beers when we were homeless and living in a hotel. My mom and I went to there was a bar attached to the hotel, so we went down there on two different nights to have a couple of drinks. She went down there a couple of nights, and I went with her, but I only drank on two of those occasions, and it was
Okay.
only like one or two beers, and then I stopped. And then the next day, I felt like crap and was like, "Yeah, this is why I stopped drinking."
Understandable. All right.
That,
Do you know what this means? This is from J Mac. Chi Chi grab the yayo.
yes, that's what I'm saying, buddy. That's what I'm saying. That's
I don't
exactly
know
what
what
I'm
that
saying,
means.
bro. That's
Explain
what
what
I'm
that
that's,
means.
that's what I'm saying. Yep, grabbing that yayo, man. You got to watch that stuff. You got to watch it.
What okay.
Yayo.
Translate for us non-druggy people.
Yayo is one of the street terms for cocaine, for powder cocaine. It's called yayo.
Okay.
So, and I
What's
imagine
what's
the
the
Chi
what's the
Chi.
Chi Chi? Chi
I
Chi
imagine
grab
that
the
I don't know. That might be another reference that he knows about, or something different. But it's just I've heard it said around multiple times when I've been doing it. That's just I've heard that other people say it as well. Chi Chi grab the yayo. I don't know exactly what it's from, but I know that's why I know what yayo means. But
Oh, here he goes. He says it's a line from Scarface.
that's what it is. I was trying to place it. I'm like, man, I've heard that, and
I
I
don't
know I've heard
remember
it
that.
somewhere.
I
Yeah.
don't remember that. Oh man. Speaking of Scarface, oh my God. Here's another segue, a very bad segue, but we're gonna get into it. So Scarface, of course, is one of Pacino's best movies outside The Godfather and Scent of a Woman. I think Scarface is right up there. Awesome, great movie. Also has in there Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yes.
Now, just recently, and I watched this when it first came out back in the early 80s. The movie Grease 2.
Yeah.
And is it as good as the first one?
Not even close.
But it is a cult classic. Now, I bring this up. Well, whatever. Okay.
I'll say that about the original, but go ahead.
I bring this up because Michelle Pfeiffer in that movie, holy crap. Wow. I mean, she is up there in my books. She's right up there with Shania Twain and Charlotte Flair. Right there, baby. In that movie, she is so, and I'll say this, so fucking hot. Wow. Man, Michelle Pfeiffer was my dream girl. Absolutely. And I remember her being really, really hot back then, and I liked her. But after watching it again this week, well, not watching, just different parts of it, I came across it. Like, my God, she's gorgeous. She is my ultimate dream girl. Back,
she still is.
Oh, she still is. And she's like 68 years old or something like that. But
I saw her when she joined the MCU. Because we've been going through the MCU. We haven't arrived at her yet in our series, but she's
that's right, because isn't she is Ant-Man's mother or something like that, or
the Wasp's mother, Hank Pym's wife.
Okay.
That's who she plays. It's Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer as Hank.
Doesn't she also play Aquaman's mother?
I haven't seen Aquaman. I really have trouble making it through anything DC.
Aquaman is different. It was a different DC movie. I don't think it followed the same format or the same characteristics as other DC movies, because to me, all the DC movies are on the dark side a little bit.
Yeah.
Aquaman, I didn't have that dark feeling, the dark sensation to it. So, but I could be wrong with that. Then JD, if you're watching, not JD, J-Mac, if you're listening, he says Scent of a Woman is great, and watch the new show on Paramount with Kurt Russell. I don't know what that is.
Yeah. What's the name of that show? My mom has been watching it. She says it's real good. And is it J-Mac? Is that Michelle Pfeiffer in that too? I think
Nicole Kidman.
Oh, Nicole Kidman.
Oh no! Nicole Kidman was Aquaman's mom. Okay.
Oh, Nicole Kidman was Aquaman's mom.
Okay. All right. There you go. Okay. All right. Nicole Kidman. She's another one, but Michelle Pfeiffer in Grease 2. If that doesn't give every high school boy a reason to go to the restroom during class, I don't know what is.
Yeah. It's called The Madison, actually, and it's got Michelle Pfeiffer in it.
Oh my gosh!
And Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell's just cool.
Michelle Pfeiffer she's the starring cast member. She's the main cast. Anybody else is like a supporting cast member. So, and the Madison, I think, is going to intertwine or be part of the Yellowstone universe in some way as well. Actually, I don't know if it's done that because I haven't watched any episodes. But supposedly the Madison will tie into the Yellowstone universe.
Okay, well, here we go. I got to say this. You got Nicole Kidman in her prime. You got what's her name? Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer in her prime. And you get Andrew in his prime. We're talking Andrew Sandwich right there. Holy moly, right there. Wow, my fantasy just came to a new level.
Yeah, I like both of them. Michelle Pfeiffer is really good. I wish she would have been in more stuff, but I think actually when actresses aren't in quite as much stuff, I think it's even better for their career.
Mm-hmm.
It makes them more in demand. And of course, Nicole Kidman. I mean, what can you say? I mean, I'm a huge Days of Thunder fan. I've seen that movie probably 255,000 times.
Really?
Right behind Turtles. It's number 2, right behind the original live action Turtles, for sure.
I would have guessed 1,000 movies before I came to that one. There's no way I would have thought of that.
It would be the original live action Turtles from 1990, Top Gun, then Days of Thunder. And I'm really not a big Tom Cruise fan, but
here's the thing: Top Gun and Days of Thunder were the same movie.
Not really.
Yeah, they were. They're exactly the same movie, just one with cars, one with planes. And I've said that since the first time I saw the two. I was like, wait a second, they're the same movie.
A little. I can see
yes, it is.
I don't know, but I see the similarities, but I don't know about the same movie. I think they're definitely different movies. But I love both of them and seen all 3 of those movies: the live action Turtles, Top Gun, and Days of Thunder. I've seen them hundreds and hundreds of times.
What'd you think of Top Gun Maverick?
Maverick was not a bad. That's one of the best sequels.
I agree.
Not a reboot, but a sequel, a continuation of the story that we have gotten in decades, in my opinion. I mean, it wasn't a remake. It followed the events of the first one, but they wrote it in good. I was a little disappointed that we didn't get to any kind of, the girl he was supposed to get with in the first movie. But it was a good movie. I very much liked Maverick. I think that's one of the best new movies or best sequel movies that we've likely ever seen. Put Independence Day 2 to shame is what that did.
What? Say that again. What? Say that again.
Independence Day 2, the second Independence Day.
It sucked.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Top Gun Maverick put the sequel to Independence Day to shame. Just put it to shame.
I am ashamed that I went and paid to see that movie. Holy moly, it sucks.
I still haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you don't? Well, how do you know it? Wait a second. Then how can you say put it to shame if you haven't seen it yet?
Will Smith they killed Will Smith. You can't. You already killed the movie. You killed Will Smith, the star, the hero of the first movie.
See, I don't remember if they say he died or
yeah, he
what.
died. He dies, quote unquote, during an accident when they're up in there. He dies in a plane accident when they're doing new technology and stuff like that.
I try to put that whole movie out of my head. So what the heck?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That as soon as I heard that, I said, I don't even want to see it. I don't even want to see it. I did watch parts of it, but I actually turned it off. It's one of the few movies I've actually turned off right in the middle.
This is another topic we can talk about is movies and chicks and movies and stuff like that. Here's one. You know this person, Rebecca De Mornay?
I do know her, but I don't know that I could tell you anything she was in specifically right off the top of my head.
I know 2 movies she was in. Was the Tom Cruise movie, which the one that made him a star? What the heck was it? The one where he's sliding in his underwear and the sunglasses.
Risky Business.
Risky Business. She was in that one. Oh yeah, and she was in another one, which I tell if a couple who are wanting to have kids, do not watch the movie The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
Oh yeah.
She was great in it, and so was the I can't think of his name, the black actor. What's the heck is his name in that movie?
I really can't remember either, but that is a movie that sticks in my brain because it came out when I was a kid, and I probably shouldn't have watched it.
Oh yeah,
when I did.
Ooh.
But that's a movie that gets you for sure.
Yeah, even J-Mac just said The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's. I cannot watch that movie again.
No,
there are 3 movies that I cannot watch again. If I see them if I see them on, I will avoid that channel and I'll probably turn off the TV. One is The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. I just can't watch that movie, even though I like Rebecca De Mornay. I think she's hot in it. I can't watch it.
Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson. That's it. Yeah, who is a phenomenal actor, by the way.
Not even realize until I looked that up, that was actually Ernie Hudson. I don't think I would have ever placed that in a million years.
Yeah. Ernie Hudson. Phenomenal actor.
Early in Ernie Hudson. Well, after Ghostbusters, but still before he became a bigger star.
Yeah, phenomenal actor. I think he is just as good as Denzel. He just doesn't get the recognition as Denzel. Honestly, I think he's phenomenal.
I could see that.
Yep.
I like Ernie Hudson.
Yep.
There's been very little that I actually don't like him in.
And if somebody's watching this and they know Ernie Hudson, send this clip to him. There you go. All right. I think he's phenomenal. Another movie that I cannot watch, movie called 8mm.
Oh yeah, that one's rough too.
With Nicolas Cage. And if that's one of it was 8mm, yeah.
Nicolas Cage. Yeah,
I'm not a Nicolas Cage fan at all, and I watched that movie, and that's just disturbing to me. I cannot watch that movie again.
It's Joaquin Phoenix is in it too. That's a freaky movie that is not. I would not recommend. I mean, watch it once if you want, if you think you can make it, but I wouldn't watch it again myself.
No, that in another Nicolas Cage movie. I just realized they're both two Nicolas Cage movies. Face Off. I can't watch that again. It's disturbing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Face Off. It's real disturbing, and the movie
psychological thriller to be sure.
The movie Chucky.
Can't.
I loved it. I loved watching it, but I said that was just disturbing to me. Those movies are just disturbing. I can't
do it. I can't do it.
I refuse to do it. I don't want to watch it. No, I don't like horror movies. They scare me.
I like horror movies, but I can't watch it. It's the one horror movie that I actually like get. I start sweating. My mouth goes dry. It puts me in just straight fear mode. But that's really the only one. The first time I watched the first Paranormal Activity, I watched it under the assumption that it was based on a true story. So
it wasn't?
That movie freaked me out big time. And I had some help from nature during that movie, which didn't make it any better. When you live in a trailer and the wind catches your screen door, anybody who's lived in a trailer has been in a windstorm where it catches the screen door because it wasn't quite latched all the way, and then swings that thing all the way around at 100 miles an hour, and when it slams the side of your trailer, and it rocks the whole thing. Moments after the scene where the entity or demon, if you will, pounds on the wall in that movie. It was like 5 minutes later after the demon pounded on the wall. And then all of a sudden that screen door popped open, and man, that scared the crap. Because I like to be scared. Like I wanted to try. I thought it was based on a true story. I turned all the lights off in the house. I'm like, okay, let's see if this movie scares me. And the screen door swinging open and hitting the side of the trailer, I said, okay, we're done. And I turned every single light on in the house, even if I wasn't in that room. The bathroom light got turned on. The bedroom light got turned on. Every light in the house got turned on after that happened.
Dude, that's another reason I won't date you. We can't watch the same movies. And no way I would watch that. No. The scariest movie I have watched willingly, I think I've told you this before, was the original Blair Witch Project. I was working as a bartender at the time. I lived in Indianapolis. I'll never forget this. I went in the middle of the day because I work nights. I went in the middle of the day. I'm the only one in the theater, and everybody's talking about this Blair Witch Project. I'm literally, my hands are like this, so I can close them real quick in case something pops out at me. The whole time I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? And now when you tell people about it and they watch it, they said it wasn't scary at all. For me, I was petrified the whole movie because I was just so anxious. Something was going to happen and I was going to be scared out of my mind because everybody was talking about it.
That movie gets a bad rap because when they marketed it as something that really legitimately happened, like it was actual footage. And then when people found out that it wasn't, they were very angry. But
they made a gazillion dollars on it too, though.
Yeah. If you look at the actual, if you actually watch the movie objectively, though, without then it's not bad. It's a pretty good sit on the edge of your seat on the edge of your seat thriller.
And I was.
And the second one was garbage, though. That was crap.
Okay, all right. Message from J Mac. You wimps. Yeah, you're right. When it comes to scary movies, I am a wimp. I would freely admit it. I do not watch scary movies.
And for me,
I refuse to watch scary movies.
For me, it's only It. That's the only movie that I physically can't watch. And I saw it, and that's because I saw the original version way too young. No 6-year-old should be no kindergartner should be watching it. Do you understand that? For all those viewers out there,
Nobody should be watching it.
Don't let your kindergartner watch it. Okay, it's bad. It's not good for a kindergartner to watch it.
There's a PSA from JD.
Exactly. Yeah, PSA from JD. I can speak from experience. Don't let your kindergartner watch it. And my parents didn't let me. Just so you know, it was at a babysitter's house. I was watching it. I don't even know.
Nice babysitter. Way to go. Nice babysitter.
No, please, no. I can remember. I can't tell you where the house was. I can tell you the house that I was in. I can tell you what it looked like, and I can tell you the TV that I watched it on because I was scared. That's why I can't watch it, because of seeing it that young. And it was also during one of the worst scenes of the movie as well. So it was no good all around.
I have zero reference to that movie outside of I guess the poster of it where it has a clown looking up through a drain pipe in the street or something like that. Yeah. Outside of that, I'm like, no.
That's the original one. At least I haven't seen. I got to see a little bit of the remake, and for me, the reason scary movies were so much better in the 80s and stuff was because not everything was painted as scary. A lot of stuff was implied. So you spent your time waiting for the scary stuff to happen. And even when the small scary stuff happened, you were still shocked by it because you were so anticipating everything. The new It's got stuff to, it's like a modern day horror. I could probably watch the new It. That wouldn't be a problem. It's the original one that I can't put on.
Oh, here is a comment that's going to give us a lot of answers of what we know about J-Mac right here. My first movie at 2 years old was The Fog. I was watching Jason and Freddy at a young age. There you go.
Yep.
That's all we need to know about J-Mac right there.
I even saw Freddy at a fairly young age for the first time. Not as young as It, but and Freddy never really bothered me, but for some reason, It the clown bothers the heck out of me. I don't know. Maybe it's because he comes from the sewer too. And I've always had a fear of falling into a drain pipe with my wheelchair. I avoid drain pipes, manholes. I don't walk over them at all. Makes sense. And that has nothing to do with It, the movie. It's because I don't want to. I've seen too many rescue shows where someone's stuck in a drain pipe.
I've never seen a Freddy movie. There you go. Keep that in the back of your mind for the next Andrew trivia. There you go. I've never seen a Freddy movie. I refuse to watch that kind of movie. No, I can't do it. Won't do it.
I can understand. I like the Freddy. I like all horror movies except It. Can't do It.
Let's see here.
I saw one of your other comments you put up was someone was talking about The Shining and Poltergeist.
Yeah, that was John. Yeah, John.
Also good movies. The Shining, Jack Nicholson is the reason that movie's keeps you on the edge of your feet. If it was anybody other than Jack Nicholson, that movie flops.
I don't think I've seen that one either. I've seen parts of it. I mean, like the Johnny's Home thing, but
yeah.
Other than that, I don't think I've seen it. No.
It's something. It's one of those, it's made in old school. There's a lot of scenes that you could really spend time, psychologically trying to dissect it and stuff like that. Most stuff now is just a horror image or, the scare where someone's waiting around the corner or someone's in the mirror when they bend down. Like it's all that type of stuff. The old school horror movies built it. It was more on lore and the story of what was happening and being afraid of that than the actual threat being scary. That's what I think horror movies have lost.
Yeah. No. So are you the type that will go through a cemetery at night?
I have gone through a cemetery at night. It's not something that I, will go out of my way to do. And that's mainly though, because I have respect for the dead. So I don't want to, mess or desecrate or do any kind of nothing like that. Like I respect the dead.
Well, what difference does it make then whether you go through it at night or at day then?
Well, that's why I will go through it at night. It's just not something that I'll look to do. But then again, I don't look to go through cemeteries even during the day either. If it's necessary, there's actually a cemetery right where I live, and my nephew and I out on our when we were shooting our brand new series called Adventuring with Liam. Get a little plug in there.
There you go.
We went through on the way back home. We found that we could cut through the cemetery and save our lives from avoiding this from avoiding this intersection. So we will be walking through it through a cemetery that's right near here from time to time, but it's for safety reasons because the intersection we're gonna die.
I was talking to somebody about a month ago, and we were talking about hay rides when we were younger, back in high school and stuff like that, and hay rides. And he said there was one, and I didn't, and we grew up in the same era, in the same area, and I didn't even know this happened. He said every year there was a hay ride out by the certain area of my town, where it goes through these back roads, and there's a real small remote cemetery back there, which I happen to, and I never knew about this. When I go on Sundays, sometimes, especially during the summer or in the fall, I like to just go out and drive and take roads I've never taken before just to do it.
Yeah.
You think I found all the roads by now, but I don't, but I haven't. And I went down this little remote road and I found this off the wall cemetery, small little cemetery in the middle of nowhere. I was like, holy crap, this would be freaky. And so we were talking about that. He goes, oh yeah, we used to have hay rides every year to go back there. I'm like, no. He says, what, you wouldn't do it? I'm like, hell no. He says, even if you were with a girl, like, hell no, I wouldn't go there. And at night, are you kidding me? The girl would not date me anymore because she know how much of a pussy I was. Ain't no way I'm doing that. Are you kidding me? Going at night, the remote cemetery like that? No. Nah.
Hay rides don't really scare me. In fact, I might be the only person who's actually scared one of the people who were supposed to be scaring me on hay rides before. I was on a hayride and they would jump up on the side, like grab a hold of the wagon or whatever, jump up on the side of it and try and do the scare. And they jumped up right next to me and went, rah! And I went, rah! Right back out in their face. They about leaped like a scared cat 15 feet off the wagon, backed away.
Nope. All right. Let's get caught up on comments here. Let's see. J-Mac. Let's see. JD. We all float down here.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
I float pretty good. I don't know if that's what we're talking about, but I float in the water pretty good. I have pretty good buoyancy.
See, the Shining movie with Jack was good, but wasn't the story. Too many liberties taken by Stanley Kubrick. I'm assuming that's the author. Okay.
The director. Yeah.
And let's go ghost hunting. No, thank you, my friend. You can do it yourself.
Ghosts. That's the other thing. They're not ghosts. You can, even if if that stuff exists,
I don't care what the hell you are. I'm not going hunting for them.
They're not dead people. That's the thing. Once you die, you can't come back. There is none of that. People don't understand that. Ghosts are just demons or evil spirits.
It's from the movie It, he says.
No, I don't want anything from the It movie. But ghosts aren't like people who think they've lost loved ones or they've seen their loved ones or they've communed with their loved ones. No, you haven't. You've communed with a demon. That's what you've communed with. There is no ghost. Once you die, you go to heaven, you go to hell. There's no third option. Oh, what's behind door number 3, Johnny? No, there's none of that. It's your ticket's punched or it's not. You go to heaven, you go to hell. There is no in between.
Okay. All right. So now see, and we'll get into that at another time, but that now you're getting into the spiritual realm of everything or the religious realm of everything, because there are people who will disagree with you on that.
Yes, there are.
I don't take either side of it, but there are people who would disagree with you on that there are different ways to go to the afterlife, so to speak.
Yeah.
There are other options. I mean, you know way more about that than I ever will.
It's just once you die, your soul is either locked in you go to heaven or you're thrown in hell. There is no return trip. But there is evil spirits out there other than people. The fallen angels, for example. Remember, a third of the angels, Satan turns a third of the angels and they become the Nephilim on earth. Well, eventually they die. They still have dominion over the earth. They still can hunt. They still can do whatever they do. So you're not communing with the dead. You're communing with a demon. And all you're doing is opening the door and letting them come in.
All right. So once again, I'm not going to get into this. And I'm going to post this just because our buddy J-Mac said this, and I don't know what he means by this. You die and sleep, no heaven or hell, and all dead people go to hell, which makes no sense.
Yes, because if you read your Bible, then
It makes no sense because if you're not heaven or hell, but all dead people go to hell. So I don't understand what that
yeah,
means. And I'm not going to get it. Don't J Mac, do not respond to that. I'm not going to. We're not.
We'll save that for another episode.
We were talking about the Michelle Pfeiffer. How do we get into this subject?
Scary movies. Somehow we went from her to scary movies.
Because I still picture Michelle Pfeiffer naked in my bed. So there you go. I'm still picturing Michelle Pfeiffer waiting for me. You know, and if she was waiting for me, I will promise you, JD, no offense, but I would not be here with you right now.
Well, I would hope not.
I would hope not too. Absolutely.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here either.
No, but Michelle Pfeiffer, the movie Grease 2. Wow. If you don't think she's hot in that movie, you are not a male. Period. End of story. You're just not a male. Yeah. I'm always going to go back to Michelle Pfeiffer. By the way, speaking of hot chicks, you know my affection for Charlotte Flair.
Yep.
You know that. I think somebody is now right up there with Charlotte in the wrestling world in my eyes.
Oh yeah,
and it happened tonight with the WWE pay-per-view with SummerSlam. Liv Morgan. Now, when she came out after the show was over, she came out for an interview with the panel on the panel of things, and she had just taken a shower and her hair was still wet, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh my God, was she friggin' hot? Holy crikeys! Now she's old enough to be my daughter. All right, she can be my daughter. But wow, you talk about a fantasy right there. Wow.
I always preferred Alexa Bliss.
I would say that, but until I saw Liv with that semi-wet, semi-dry hair coming out today, holy moly!
You're Charlotte and Liv Morgan, and I'm Britt Baker, and who were we just talking about? I just totally drew a blank. I just said her name.
Yeah, not Ashley. What the heck's her name? Let me go through the alphabet.
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss. Yeah. We can with A. Alexa.
Alexa Bliss and Britt Baker. You know, that's your version of Charlotte Flair and Liv Morgan there.
I wouldn't kick Britt Baker out of that. No. Britt Baker is another one. Yeah, she is an actual dentist too.
You listening, Tony Khan? I know how much you love popcorn and whiskey. We want to see Britt Baker back. Okay, now.
Okay, I said I wasn't going to talk about wrestling, but we are. Why is she not there?
I have no idea. I can't find any confirmation of anything. The only thing I know for sure is that she is in fact still under contract with AEW.
Okay.
She's still being paid. I have no idea. I do know that she closed her practice, her dental practice, because it was getting to be a zoo with her being on AEW and stuff, apparently.
Okay.
She did close her practice from what I understand, but I cannot figure out for the life of me why she's not on television right now.
No, I heard rumors, and you know more about this than I do because I don't follow AEW, but I heard that she was like trouble in locker room trouble all the time, locker room cancer, which I find it hard to believe because she was there for so long.
Yeah, she was an original too. So I don't. And even if that's the case, why don't we hear about it? Why is she still under contract? Why is she not released with prejudice?
Yeah.
Right. Like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So, okay. I gotta say this, J Mac, you are officially off my cool list. Look what he just said. Never thought Michelle Pfeiffer was hot. Pretty not hot, dude. You are off my cool guy list. You are no longer a cool guy. You got to work your way back up. All right. You're not in the good graces with me anymore. How dare you say Michelle Pfeiffer is not hot?
I have one word for J-Mac. Catwoman.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's how I was introduced to Michelle Pfeiffer. Was in Batman Returns. That was the first time I'd seen her and recognized who she was in a movie. Was Batman Returns as Catwoman.
Watch Grease 2, not for the movie itself.
I have seen it, but it's not. I don't because it doesn't like Michelle Pfeiffer doesn't. Catwoman was the one that introduced me to Michelle
Okay.
Pfeiffer.
Let's see here. Now we're bouncing around because Tony Khan has no clue how to run a promotion. All right. We're not getting into wrestling. We're not getting into wrestling now. That's for your show, not my show.
And I'm tired of hearing it from people who don't like AEW, so it don't matter to me either.
I didn't say it.
No, of course not.
Okay. Let's see.
Just turn it off, right? How hard is it, Andrew? Right? Just turn it off.
Exactly. I turned it off. I was actually watching it in your honor last week when it was on. But then when I texted you and you said you weren't watching it, I'm like, I'm not going to keep watching it then. So there you go. I turned it off.
Oh, I think that was the last pay-per-view?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I just couldn't watch it at the time. I had to watch it after it had already aired.
How did you do that? Oh, because you bought it, right?
Yeah. Because I bought it. I'm having a problem with I have no wireless network at my house. I don't know what's going on. I can't.
Oh, you still haven't figured that out yet?
I got a call. I guess the cables company's going to have to come out and tell me what's going on with my wireless network. No one on the phone knows anything.
You still haven't figured it out yet?
No, I don't know. It can't be on me. It's got to be an equipment issue at this point. Like with their modem, it's got to be not broadcasting a wireless signal of some kind. So I'm waiting to Comcast is going to come out and look or do whatever it is that they do.
I'm telling you, get a different phone service for your cell phone.
That's not my cell phone service. I don't use Xfinity for my cell phone.
I know. Service. Listen to me. Get Visible cell phone service. I don't know who.
Oh, you were talking about a hotspot.
Yeah, who's your carrier right now?
I think my mom and I use AT&T.
Okay, I can save you money, and you can get a hotspot with it with Visible. They basically the same thing as Verizon, but it's Visible. I pay $25 a month, unlimited everything, including hotspot. My mom had it when she was down in Florida, living by herself, and she knows nothing about technology, but she's able to run her Roku with the hotspot on the phone. It had that much. It's only 5 up and 5 down with the hotspot at the basic level, at the $25 level. The $35 level, you get a lot more speed, but that's all she needed to do. And it's a hotspot to back up. If something goes wrong with my service here, my internet service, I can plug in my phone. And I have a hotspot backup. Not a problem. For $25 a month, I get my cell phone, and I've had it for 5 years now. I have zero issues with it. Zero.
Okay. Well, we will. I think we are going to have to have a talk about that.
Yes, we will. I'm telling you, and I keep telling myself I'm going to make a little promo to throw it in the middle of my show, like a commercial.
Yeah.
For it, because I have an affiliate link. Of course, if you get it, I get like a free month service, and you get a free $5 off or something like that. And here's the deal, because no one's watching right now is why. I got mom on my mother on it 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, so almost, I guess right at 2 years ago. And it's supposed to be $20 a month for the first 6 months, and then it went up to $25 a month. She is still only paying $20 a month for her phone service. Unlimited everything, unlimited data, unlimited hotspot, unlimited everything, $20 a month, and it goes on Verizon networks. Now, if you're in the drawback is if you're in a congested spot, the true Verizon customers get priority over you. I have never ran into that.
I'm not really a fan of Verizon.
Okay, whatever. My thing is, so what? If you're paying $70 a month for your phone service and you can get it for $25 a month.
Well, the last time I used Verizon, they gave me 2 bills in the same month and expected me to pay both of them. So that's when I said, okay, well, then you can just turn off my service.
Well, Visible is its own company, but they run off of Verizon network.
Verizon towers, yeah.
Just like Metro is its own service, but they run off of the T-Mobile towers. There you go, because there's all kinds of other companies that run off of the major players. There's all kinds of them like that. I've had zero issues with Visible, and I'm telling you, I used to get free phones from them every year because I traded my old phone, but they stopped doing that. So now I bought a phone a year and a half ago for $100, and it's still going strong. I'll probably trade it off here in a little bit and get another phone for $100 from them.
I've had two phones over the last probably at least 10 years or so. I'd say I had a Galaxy before this one, that I had for probably 5 or 6 years, and I've had this one now for going on 4 or 5 years.
Okay. Well,
I'm good with I'm not one of those people who goes through a phone like
I'm not either.
Has to get in. I had a phone for a decade before I got to get a new one, and usually then it's because technology's come far enough that my old phone is not working correctly or not doing what I want it to do because it's gotten old. That's usually when I replace my phone.
Well, I'm telling you, I will send you a link to the Visible. Check them out. I can't speak more highly of them. 1 for the price, 2 for the service, and 3 for the hotspot. They've been a game changer for me and a lifesaver for my mother.
Well, my mom's been saying about how we maybe need to go to a different phone bill anyway. So I'll say something to her about it. She handles the phone bill. I take care of the rest of the bills.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I'll relay it to her and just show it to her, see what she says. I know what she's going to say, so I'll show it to her this week or something.
Are you going to say the same thing you just said about Verizon?
No, she's going to say, will it work? Will our phones work here at the house? And if I say yes, and she's going to say, is it cheaper? And I say yes, and she's going to say, do it.
There you go.
That's our biggest problem is that we switch, like other people we know have other carriers in this area, and they seem to constantly have, like, they don't have service or whatever, which is weird in my opinion in today's day and age, especially for this area. But yeah, they don't seem to get the same kind of service we do. That's why I've been reluctant to change, because my phone works literally every single place I go in my life.
There you go. Now, will you hear horror stories about Visible? Yeah, of course you will. You'll hear horror stories about everything. In my town, there's a couple of dead spots in town where AT&T doesn't work.
Yeah.
There's other parts of town where, because I live in a small town, where T-Mobile doesn't work. And I love T-Mobile. And if T-Mobile lowered their cell phone prices, I'd go with them in a heartbeat. But I went for the cheapest. Honestly, that's what I got Visible to begin with. I went for the cheapest. And for me, like I said, for 5 years, I've had them $25 a month. I have zero issues whatsoever. Other people say they have horror stories. Now, with Visible, you can only talk to somebody via chat online. There is no live people you talk to. Very, very, very seldom you talk to a live person. So it's everything based online. But I'm thinking, for $25 a month, I'm good with it. And the first time I had them, I changed phones, and I had there was a setting that I changed because I was an idiot and I didn't realize I changed it. And through a chat, they said, well, did you change this setting? I had to look at it. I'm like, yeah. They said, well, don't change it back. And I changed it back, and boom, it worked, and that was good.
Yeah.
And that was the last time I talked to a customer service for that kind of issue. So, I say 5 years and running strong, I'm happy with them.
Yeah, I will definitely say something to my mom, because she's been on me about it's time to get a cheaper phone bill.
There you go.
AT&T,
I just solved your problem.
AT&T is ridiculous. I will admit that AT&T is freaking ridiculous with their prices. What we're paying right now for our service is outrageous.
I know people around here who are paying $80 to $90 a month with their AT&T service. Are you in that ballpark?
Yep, that's probably sounds about right. Plus, we have extra phones. We have extra phones on the line and stuff, so it's probably more than that.
Holy crikeys! Now, I will tell you this: with Visible, because you have to do it through email and your credit card. You have to have one email account for each phone you have. So I have like umpteen email accounts through Gmail that I have just for the phone purposes. So I have that and Yahoo email addresses. So if you have multiple email addresses, you're fine. If you don't, you're not fine.
Yeah, I have 4 of them, unfortunately.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. So you should be good to go. Let's see. Headlocks in the heels. I pay $45 a month for cell service. You're $20 too high, my friend. Or if you want to get full service, you're $10 too high. And also, Walmart has a good service. So Straight Talk, I had that for a couple of years once, about 10 years ago.
Yeah, that doesn't work so well in this area.
Okay. All right. And you say you have AT&T?
Yeah.
Do you know anybody in your area that has a Verizon?
Verizon is another competitor around here. They're probably except for AT&T, they probably have the best service in this area. AT&T,
well, there you go.
and Verizon.
Visible work for you. Then there you go. So,
but like I said, I'm not really a fan of Verizon, so I'm not.
So what? Get over it.
Verizon. Now they're going to charge me a bunch of money for nothing. That's not for me. I don't have the money.
Well, no, I understand that, but again, Visible just rents lines from Verizon.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. But no, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think your suggestion might actually work, because, like you said, they use Verizon towers, and Verizon is the other like major competitor in the area. The AT&T and Verizon got the best coverage in this area for sure.
Okay. See, because then you can just turn on your phone hotspot, and you could have watched the AEW pay-per-view. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, my friend, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to sign off here. Appreciate you coming on. Thank you again, folks who are watching. Go to Mayhem Media. Headlocks is the other one. Mayhem Media and the Boiling Point podcast. Go check out JD. He's a great guy and doing all kinds of good things over there. So go check him out. JD, any parting words?
For me, that's the end.
All right, my friend. You take care. Thank you.
All right, I'm out.
All right, bye. Okay, folks. We have a good show. We talked about all kinds of stuff tonight. Appreciate Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc, Wrestling Unscripted coming on. J-Mac. Appreciate it, buddy. You know you're always welcome. We will come on one day, and we'll do a trio or something coming on. And John, if you're still watching, great. Thanks. I will stop it here. Guys, popcorn and whiskey. I'm out of here. Salute. My name is Andrew. I am the face who runs the place. So until next time. Ciao.